Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where today we're going to be talking about the first episode of The Mandalorian on Disney+. That's today here on Star Wars Coffee. Welcome back everyone, thank you to all of the returning subscribers, but if you're new to the channel and you're just finding me for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button on this video and any other video from the channel that you check out, and be sure to hit that notification bell not once, but twice so that you're always notified the second a new video goes live. Alright, with that being said, we're going to throw out a spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't gotten to see The Mandalorian yet, as there will be spoilers from The Mandalorian's first episode in this video. Alright, with that being said, let's dive in to the first episode of The Mandalorian. Alright, so first let's talk about my initial reaction. My initial reaction was, this is going to be an amazing series. Thank you, Jon Favreau, for making this happen. Let's talk about the feeling that I had while watching. The overall effect of watching The Mandalorian gave me the effect of watching like an original trilogy Star Wars, and kind of mixed with the Rogue One, with the way that it was shot. It was fantastic. The cinematography was excellent. The music is fantastic. It really sets the stage as a great pilot episode for the rest of this series, and it didn't do too much to where it gave away a lot of the development that we're going to get from the characters, so it kept it kind of mysterious as the Mandalorian gets to be that kind of mysterious character. As I was watching it, I was kind of thinking that this is kind of like the James Bond Star Wars edition, which in the sense that the Mandalorian rarely, spoken, soft-spoken, short-spoken, and just complete destruction. Whenever he sets his mind to something, he just completely crushes anything in his way, and it was extremely satisfying to watch a live-action Star Wars TV series for the first time. I can't wait to see more of it, and it's really amazing. If you haven't, wow, it's great. Alright, as you can see, I wanted to give you, I just finished watching it, and that's why my reaction is kind of stuttery, and because I wanted you guys to get this is my reaction that I had while watching it. It's excellent. I can't wait for Friday when we get another episode, and then from there on, remember that it's weekly. Okay, so with that being said, now let's go through the episode bit by bit. The episode starts with the Cantina scene, and to preface this, let's say that everything that we saw in this first episode was something that we had seen in a trailer or in a TV spot or in a teaser. The one thing that I was continually waiting for was Gina Carano's character, and we didn't see her, which really surprised me because I had thought initially that all of these TV spots and all of the promos were going to be from the pilot. I didn't think they were going to be diving too much farther ahead, but I guess they really didn't, in the sense that we only see a couple of things that I can remember right now off the top of my head that we didn't see in this episode. One, where the Mandalorian's helmet was trying to be taken off, and two, Gina Carano's character. But other than that, it seems that we have seen almost the rest of that cut in some certain form or fashion for a TV spot or a trailer. But other than that, we pretty much got everything. So it begins in the Cantina scene that has been in all of the promos, and it was just edited differently in all of the promos, obviously. And what we see is let's just say this really quick too. All of these Star Wars species in here and all of the creatures, excellent. Another reason that I completely loved this episode. So the Mandalorian goes into the Cantina and picks up the bounty on this head, and he just takes it, and he's trying to talk his way out of the situation, and then he offers him some credits, and he's a creature, and it's awesome, visually stunning. You see the Mandalorian coming in like a BA, just clocking everyone around in that bar scene, slicing that guy in half, really setting the tone for the rest of this episode and what a BA that the Mandalorian is. And I love that line. I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold. That's a great line. That's a great Mandalorian line. Alright, so now we go with his bounty. He has his bounty, he picks up the ship where he has to deal with this Ravenak, and before heading into space, so he's so calm and collected. As you can see, his bounty is clearly just going nuts. He's concerned that they're gonna not even make it off the planet, and he just calmly walks out there, hits him with the stun stick, and then they move on. And it's really cool because he's in a pre-Empire Razor Crest, which is excellent. And so he's not using anything Imperial. And after encasing him in carbonite, we see that he has collecting all of his bounties, which comes into play later. It's not just his trophies, these are all of the bounties that he had been assigned, and this was his last bounty. And he's in the Bounty Hunters Guild, which is awesome. He delivers it to his good, Grief Karga. So, the Mando is disappointed with the take, as he initially offers him Imperial credits, and he's disappointed because this takes place 5 to 6 years after the fall of the Empire, and so he doesn't want the Imperial credits, but he says they still spend. So, rather than settling for that, he settles for a smaller amount in the calamari flan instead, which I guess doesn't really matter. No one is wanting to pay guild rates anymore, so bounty hunters are having to scrape by. Why? Because the Empire has fallen. So why would they need to hire as many bounty hunters when there's not as much to take out? Makes sense. So, at this, there is one job with a really lucrative opportunity that Karga prevents to the Mandalorian. And all of his other bounties weren't even worth collecting fuel, which just really shows you how much that the Empire really held up the bounty hunters, because they were mainly contracted by the Empire to go get people wanted by the Empire. So now that the Empire has fallen, bounty hunters are having to scrape by, which is why he gets the line in there about not even having fuel to cover, which is why he goes to take this creative opportunity. So it leads him to Herzog's character, who is still a little mysterious and only surrounds himself with guards decked out in stormtrooper armor, which is cool. Stormtroopers, original stormtroopers, nothing new that we've seen, just the original stormtrooper outfits, which is awesome, great, especially in the cinema technology and the cameras that we have today. It looks fantastic. So it's a grab and go, and he takes the characters, and he's given the target's age, 50 years old, and a tracker to their location, to their last known location. And so that's what he's taking with the beep. So he takes the job. He's given his down payment of steel, which he surprisingly turns into a shoulder part for his armor. And during this, we have something where we know about his background. So this gives us a lot of clues to his past. It's kind of like Rey being abducted, or it's kind of like Jyn Erso being hid from the Empire. They're hiding as the Empire is clearly raiding, and the kid remains safe by his parents, presumably the parents getting shot, and the Mandalorian. This explains why at the end he doesn't want to kill the young Yoda species, because of all of the trauma that he had, which is the only reason I can see why they would show us that in the first episode. So they're really just setting the stage to show that the Mandalorian is going to be more of a complicated character than just a shoot, collect, go, next mission type of bounty hunter. Likely all of those flashbacks were from the Great Purge that was referenced, and when he said that he was, a foundling, so he was separated from his parents, but we're not really sure exactly what that is. And so from there, the Mando goes to the planet where his target awaits. Great cinematography, just everything scene to scene is great. And one of the things I love is during the transitions we get that classic Star Wars, circle in or a wipe. It's excellent. I really thought that added to the ambiance to say you're watching a Star Wars television series, and it's great. So we see those two-legged beasts called the Blurg, and it is awesome. The Blurgs get the better of him, and he's, saved by Nick Nolte's character, which is awesome. And his name is Kuiil. Kuiil is how I'm going to say it, because I'm not really sure how to. Kuiil. And he agrees to help the Mandalorian because he wants to bring peace to his planet, and he knows that cannot happen with this target still present and being guarded so heavily. So he informs the Mando that the only way to reach the compound is by riding a Blurg, otherwise he's going to die on his way there. And so at the compound he meets IG-11, which is the droid bounty hunter who is also on the job. So he wasn't aware that the Mandalorian was on the job and vice versa, which is why they split the bounty. Which makes sense, classic. Let's accomplish the mission, move on. And the really interesting thing, which I sort of didn't expect, but I feel like I should have, other than the fact that I was just so into the fact that there was a baby Yoda species on the screen, is that he shoots him because he wants the Baby Yoda dead. And the Mandalorian's not going to have that, and again, the reason I say that is because he was alluded to the fact early in the episode during the Great Purge when he saw him that he was separated from his family and became a foundling. So the end of the episode is Baby Yoda, species 50 years old, and IG-11 makes the point to say that they can live thousands of years for centuries. So that's reinforced in everything that Yoda said dialogue. I don't have to remind anybody of that. And it's excellent to see a Baby Yoda species. This confirms that report that I did maybe a month or two ago on The Mandalorian with the Yoda species in The Mandalorian. We clearly got that to fruition. I didn't think that was going to happen in the first episode, but I'm really glad it did. And what I'm really glad that this did is it left it clearly on what probably isn't an intentional cliffhanger as the episodes was wrapped up. But it leads us to more of a mystery in terms of the Mandalorian as a character and Pedro Pascal's character in terms of his development moving forward and what type of bounty hunter he is now to the character arc that we're going to be unraveling starting Friday with the next episode and then weekly after that. I really enjoyed the episode. I'm really pumped for the next episode on Friday. I can't wait. I'll definitely be reviewing that episode as well and every other episode of the Mandalorian series, keeping you guys updated on the news. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see that. As you guys have known, I've been posting all of the TV spots that I can find for the Mandalorian, so I'll continue to do that, get everybody continually hyped up, because it's just going to be an amazing show, and I can't wait to take this journey with you guys and have a great discussion on the Mandalorian. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode of the Mandalorian down below. Thank you guys for watching. God bless, and may the Force be with you.